This is our bedroom in our new one-bed flat that we bought as our first ever home as two first-time buyers trying to get on the property ladder. Anyway, our bedroom, like everything else in the flat, seems to have a few problems with it. It's damp.
What is all that?
Mouldy, and currently stinks because we found a pretty severe leak in the bathroom.
There we go. There's the culprit, I think.
Anyway, today we're going to be completely transforming our pretty rotten bedroom by giving it a complete makeover and turning it from an empty, bland and dull space to this cozy, beautiful, luxury master bedroom. In the previous video, we already started to prepare this room for the transformation by gutting out all of the old manky carpet, cleaning and sanding the walls to remove as many stains as possible, and today we continue on to give this room the ultimate makeover.
Hello! First thing I'm going to do is take down the light, because we don't need it. We're going to replace it for something, and it means I can just paint it properly. Should probably turn the electrics off first. That would make sense. Turn electrics off.
Right, now with the electrics off so I don't kill myself, I could start to dismantle this pendant lamp. Then after that, I just needed to disconnect the wires connected to the light, and then happy days, job done.
One light down. I don't know why, but there's two wires. If anybody's got an idea of what this second wire could be, then let me know. I'm certainly not an electrician, but now I think I can start adding a second coat of brilliant white onto the ceiling.
So Evie had already put one coat of this paint on the night before, but for me this was
the first bit of paint that I have put on the flat.
And I was very excited about that, but I'm certainly no professional painter or decorator. In fact, this is the first room I've ever properly painted in my entire life. The paint that we're using is brilliant white, as that seems to be the go-to. I then thought I might as well do the window ledge, but later realised that this was my first painting mistake.
Now, I'm going to grab my frog tape and go and frog tape all of the edges, because everything is going to be that colour there.
So of course, before I actually started doing this, I had to wait for the ceiling to dry. But with this being my first time decorating, I wanted to play things safe and use this painter's tape to mask the ceiling off.
Everything is now masked up. Hopefully some nice straight lines. What I ended up doing was putting the frog tape on the inside to get that nice straight line, and then a bit of masking tape on the outside. I have also masked up the window frame, so this will all be green in here, cover all bits like that, and hopefully should look nice and tidy. So this is the colour of the paint we're going with. It's from Heritage Durable Luxury Paint, Velvet Matte, Finest Soft to Touch Matte Emulsion for Interior Walls, Olive Tree Green.
So I'll be honest, I didn't really have a technique or a process in mind of exactly how to paint the bedroom. Because I put the tape on the ceiling and around the skirting boards, that meant I didn't have to be so precise. So I just grabbed a small roller and started painting the top of the ceiling, and then made my way down a few inches. And then when I'd done that, I just grabbed the bigger roller and paint the rest of the wall.
That's one coat done on the back wall. Definitely going to need a second coat. But this room is going to be very, very green.
So with me now slightly questioning the colour, I decided to keep going to see how the rest of the room would look. But then I realised I'd made my first novice decorating mistake.
Woo! Just realised it was probably absolutely pointless painting the windowsill. Should have done that at the end. So, I don't know if this is a stupid idea, but I'm going to take the door off. If Evie was here, she absolutely would not let me do this, but she's not. Door's loose. Door's loose. Oh, door is heavy. Oh my God. If you have a look here where I've taken off the hinges, another piece of cardboard and another piece. Anyway, move that into there, then mask this door up, and then I've got something to sort this out, and I'll explain that in a minute. On the first day of the renovations, we found a leak. I found the leak. And the leak is coming from the bathroom, which is on the other side of this wall. I've now located the leak. I haven't fixed it yet, but I will fix it and there will be no more water coming through. What's happened is, because the leak's been going on obviously for some time and they never fixed it, it has created a bit of a stain on this wall here. And I have been told that if you don't treat the stain and you decided to just paint straight over it, the stain could then reappear in the future. What I have just gone and bought is some of this, some cover stain Zinza, high performance solvent based prime sealer and stain killer. Once that is dry, we can then obviously paint it with the green colour, and hopefully that means the stain won't reappear. I'm being real lazy because I don't want to dirty another paint tray.
So I decided to cover this damp stain on the wall with 2 coats of this Zinza primer just to be on the safe side, and whilst I was waiting for it to dry, I cracked on and painted the rest of the room, and before I knew it, the first coat was completely done.
Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The first coat is now done and dusted. So yeah, first coat.
Hello? Oh, okay, cheers.
Got a parcel, that's exciting. If it's what I think it is, I only ordered this at 10 o'clock last night and it's already arrived.
Oh my God, how did these arrive so quickly? This is amazing. So I've got all of the plug sockets, light switch, and what is this? I don't know what you call it, a TV coaxial socket.
We've gone for a Nexus metal black nickel with a black insert because we thought that would look pretty cool with the green in the room. So obviously, once I've done the second coat and sanded everything down, I can then get them installed, which will make the room feel finished, which will be great. So now the plan is to sand all of this down, because you probably can't see it on camera, but there are a few lumps and bumps. This isn't something I probably would have known to do, or I would have done in the past, but I've been recommended. Vincent, thank you very much. A decorator who reached out on Instagram with a bunch of advice. If you're not following me on Instagram, at Will's Whereabouts, he recommended to sand in between coats to get a nicer finish. To sand down the room, I have only gone and bought a 9-inch radial sander, which you put on a pole and you sand the room. Should make things a little bit faster rather than going up on a ladder and, you know, sanding it by hand. Does the pole fit in here? Because this is not meant for this, but oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, lovely, look at that. Now I've got my juicy little sander to go. Very nice. I think this is going to look worse before it looks better, because I can already see it's just starting to take off some of the loose particles or of paint or whatever it is.
And that's actually the exact purpose of this sander, to remove any loose flaky bits and smoothen the wall out. Any bits that were a little bit awkward or lumpy, I'd grab my orbital sander and have a go on it with that.
Really annoyingly, where Evie painted on the wall is left thicker blobs of paint as she's been writing, so I need to sand them down.
So I can absolutely say, after spending time prepping and decorating this room, do not, and I repeat, do not paint things on your wall that you then have to leave to dry for days. One thing I've also now learned is also don't test your paint colours on the wall, because it leaves a bunch of dried lumps and the actual outline of your brush, which then when it comes to painting, your walls aren't smooth, you then need to sand it down and it just completely wastes time. So the final step for me to fully prep the wall for the last coat of paint was to grab the hoover to try and remove as much of the dust as possible. And then, just to be even more anal and OCD, to make sure the walls were as clean as they could be, I just went over them with a wet mop. And then, before I knew it, I decided to repaint the entire room with the second and final coat of paint, and I couldn't wait to start peeling off the tape, just to see how sharp my lines were.
Just as I thought this would be all okay to take off, it's ended up taking a bit of the white paint off. So does that mean I'm going to have to paint again? I think it does. I must say, I am pretty happy with how the masking tape turned out. Don't get me wrong, there are of course a few little touch-ups which I need to do, but the bulk of this room is done. So now it's all about painting and trying to get these lines as straight as I possibly can.
So to finish off some of the final touches on the paint job, I relayed more masking tape where I needed it, and then I'd go in with a small detailing brush to paint over any edges or lines to give it that finished feel and look.
It's all in the details, my friends. It's all in the details. Take your time and do it right.
I'd absolutely love to know some of your own DIY painting and decorating tips and tricks, so please make sure to whack them down in the comments so that I can learn for next time. Because as you're about to see, I need all the help I can get.
Just as I thought I was getting the hang of this, let me quickly explain. I haven't done this side, but I just masked it up and the frog tape has ripped off all of the green paint. But for some reason it hasn't done it here, so I don't understand why that has happened. Any advice on why the frog tape is ripping off the green paint? Please let me know, because it hasn't done it there. I do not get it. So as you can see, the green frog tape was actually stripping off some of the paint that I just painted on the wall. So I've gone and got some yellow frog tape this morning, which is a little less tacky, which means on freshly painted surfaces it shouldn't rip off the paint, but then you can still get nice straight clean lines. So today's job is just to finish off the skirting boards, the detailing.
So even with the green frog tape ripping off the paint, I was still in a good mood, so this time I just masked things up with the yellow one instead and started to finish painting the skirting boards and the door frame. And again, I was feeling pretty proud and satisfied with the last few days of labour that I'd been putting into this bedroom.
It was all going so well yet again, until yellow frog tape still decides to rip the paint off. Oh, have a look at this. I've just painted these skirting boards all lovely, and the yellow frog tape continues to rip off the layer of green paint, which is so annoying. I would imagine that's happening because maybe there's a thinner layer of paint at the bottom of the wall. But if any of you guys have got any painting tips or advice, please let me know. This is the first room in my life that I've ever painted, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job of it because it looks bloody good in here. But this is really frustrating.
So I had to go around the whole room where any bits of paint that had been pulled off by the frog tape and very carefully and precisely touch them in. And to be honest, after I'd done it, you couldn't even tell, and it looked just as good as new. And you know what else looks just as good as new? EcoFlow power stations. So this is the EcoFlow Delta 2 portable power station, and this particular model has 1800 watts of power output. There has already been many times where I've had to completely turn off all of the power to the flat just so I don't electrocute myself, which means the tools that I need to charge are obviously going to stop charging. So this one I'm going to keep right here at the flat just to charge up all of the power tools, all of my camera batteries and everything like that. So this Delta 2 version here, we've got 4 UK 230 volt plug sockets, which is great. That is quite a lot of different sockets that you could use to plug different things into. You've then got a pretty standard 12 volt car cigarette lighter port, which, believe it or not, if you were to go car camping, you could plug an electric blanket into that. Back in the day, I'm sure you guys remember that I even used to plug a rice cooker into my old portable power station. And, you know, having something like this, even when you're car camping, when you're doing a bit of van life, it's so handy just to have as extra backup power in case anything goes wrong. Or, of course, if you have a really simple setup like I used to have in the Ford Galaxy, something like this literally powered everything. You've got loads and loads of different USB chargers, 2 just standard USBs, and then 2 fast charging, and then of course now USB-C is becoming very popular. We now also have 2 of those for whatever devices it is that you need to use them for. If you guys would like to check out the EcoFlow Delta 2 or any of EcoFlow's other batteries, because they do also have some bigger ones, some smaller ones, so completely depends on your situation and exactly what you want to use it for. I'll leave a link down in the description, so make sure to go check it out. I can't quite believe it, but after 3 days of painting, the room is 99% finished. The only thing left to do is to repaint the windowsill, and I've got a little bit of a trick up my sleeve. So I have bought some
UPVC plastic white spray paint to spray the frame and the edges of the window, just to tidy it all up and finish it all off and make it look lovely, brand spanking new and nice and white.
So to take things to another level, I wanted to strip down the window by taking off the little hooks that you pull on to lift it up. These weird knobbly things which I don't really know what they actually do, and I even took off the window locks. Then all I had to do was mask it all up, ready for paint.
I've got my piece of cardboard here just to try and protect as much as I possibly can so I don't get it everywhere. My God, am I going too far? I'm scared, I'm scared. Need ventilation. Oh dear. Oh dear. Mayday, mayday. We have a problem. This is not going well so far. Oh, and it's on me green wall. It's a brick. Why is it running like that?
So there is no denying that spray painting this window frame was a complete and utter waste of time, because I did not get the desired look that I was going for. It was probably user error in terms of my spray painting technique, but now I've learnt you can actually buy UPVC cleaner, which is what I would probably do next time. So the final job to have this room completed was to swap out these white plug sockets for our black nickel sockets, which really add to the final touch and feel of the room.
Oh! No, has the back box broken? The clip has just bloody snapped on the back box and I haven't got another one. The clip snapped. Anyway, I'm going to do the rest of them and then this room will be done. And I'll have to get a new back box clip somewhere.
Now we had the room fully painted, decorated, and many new life lessons learnt, it was time for the big transformation. The carpet.
Today, a very exciting day coming in because we got Finley and his dad Jake who are going to help to show me and also install the carpet.
So previously we'd ripped out the carpet because it was absolutely stinking the room out because of the damp and moisture underneath it, and it also had a big stain on it. So I decided to call in the professionals to get a new carpet laid and also understand and learn how it's done so that I could do it on my own next time. The first thing to do was to remove all of the old carpet gripper, which Jake made look an absolute breeze, and I made look a little bit more difficult.
Oh, my skirting board, eh?
But actually, once you got the technique and I stopped caring about my skirting boards, it came out nice and easy.
With this gripper,
Yeah.
you see it's got the spikes are pointing one way,
Yeah.
so that basically goes against the skirting board.
Oh, right, so you can actually install this the wrong way around.
You can.
I was learning all sorts from Jake about different types of carpet, the different ways that you need to fit different carpets, and most importantly, the different types of pile that a carpet can have.
With a Saxony, it needs to come slightly further up because it's a thicker pile.
Right, and the one we got is Saxon E.
Saxony, that's it.
I haven't got a clue, honestly. The amount of different carpets there are is ridiculous.
Now, I'm not even going to bother trying to explain the whole process of how we did the carpet, but just know that I was like a sponge trying to take this all in, and I'm so grateful for Jake and Finley for coming down and showing me how it's done.
Right, all the carpet gripper is done, brand spanking new. I now want to be a carpet fitter. Do you reckon I'll do good at that?
Yes.
There we go. So the next job, the underlay, right?
So here's a montage with some cool music of us getting the carpet laid and me learning on the job.
Hit it, yeah?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, just like a hammer.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? That's brilliant.
That's the cracking shuffle.
So we'd go round all of the edges, stapling the underlay to the actual hardwood floor. And then we'd go and tape up the gaps where the edges of the underlay would meet together. And then just trim off any excess around the edges.
Look at my jaggedy line. Not the straightest cut whatsoever. Now have a look at Jake's. Look at that. Beautiful.
So this is our new carpet, a mocha cream Saxony thick bush pile, if you know what that means. But anyway, it was a nice carpet.
Yeah, I'm going to let Jake finish off the carpet fitting in terms of cutting it, because if I butcher a line, it's not going to look good.
So we sprayed the edge of the carpet with this spray adhesive glue. Then grabbed his knee kicker and started literally kneeing the carpet into the gripper that we'd previously installed. And then after a couple of hours of Jake showing me how to do everything, and of course installing it himself with a little bit of my help, we had a finished carpet.
The bedroom is done, and how good is it looking in here right now? Me and Evie also installed this chandelier light last night that we picked up from Next Home. The carpet is in, smelling, looking, feeling absolutely fantastic. The carpet is honestly so smooth, and it no longer smells all mouldy and damp in here. The sockets are in and looking absolutely beautiful, and a nice bit of contrast on the walls. Finally, it feels like progress is being made. The bedroom is done, ready, and the next step will be to start adding some furniture, a bed, a wardrobe, and all of the exciting little things that happen when you actually start to make your bedroom come to life.
So over the next few weeks, we started shopping around at a few different places for all of these bedroom essentials.
This is how you spend a wild Friday night.
That would soon start to make this really feel like a home. We picked up 2 of these IKEA Pax wardrobes, which give us both plenty of storage space for all of our clothes. It took us about an hour to build each one, screwing, hammering and putting it all together, but eventually we got there. Then we picked up this king-size bed that would fit beautifully in the room, but there was one issue that my OCD took some getting used to, and there really wasn't much we could do about it.
The room's not square. Are we going to get over it, or are we going to do something about it?
I've got to explain the issue, people. I've got to explain it. So this is the very simple first world dilemma that we're having. It's not an even gap from this end of the bed to the cupboard, and likewise from that to that, because the room is not completely square. But that is really kind of displeasing me, that.
Straighten the bed up and see how bad it looks like.
Well, then we'll have a gap at the back, but
Yeah,
okay.
we're just going to have to deal with it.
I can't deal with a non-straight bed.
Going to have to move them.
I'll have to move that.
It's a shame.
Anyway, eventually I managed to get over the non-squareness of this bedroom, and who knows, maybe it's some sort of autistic behaviour within me that takes me a bit of time to get used to stuff like this. But after a week of working in the bedroom, we had completely transformed it from this to this.
So here we have it, 1 week later, a final and 99.9% finished bedroom. Oh no, I've just ruined the bed that I just spent 20 minutes making, even though we're not going to be sleeping in this for the next few months. So I can't lie, we are both absolutely buzzing to have the bedroom now done. But unfortunately, that doesn't mean we're moving in, because the biggest issue is that room behind that wall there, which you'll find out in the next video. However, it does feel nice to at least see a little bit of progress. I am absolutely chuffed to bits with my first ever room that I've ever painted or decorated in my entire life. It looks amazing. Nice sharp lines after I had an absolute nightmare with the frog tape. As you can see, we've started to add a few of our personal touches in here, but to be honest with you, that's just so it kind of looks a little bit finished. As I said, we're not going to be moving in because the bathroom on the other side of this wall,
That's the big issue. But we've got a couple of bedside tables. We've obviously got a couple of shelves up there. Need to put some pictures up there. There's a photo of my grandparents who kind of inspired all of this travel and YouTube stuff. Our bed is actually an ottoman, meaning that we've got storage underneath. And because we've got nowhere to store any of our stuff right now, it's actually really good that we've done the bedroom first, because now we've managed to put everything in here. And in a small little one bed flat like this flat is, storage is very limited, so this is going to be super, super handy for when we actually come to live here. Now, you guys know that I absolutely love LED lights, and I love a kind of smart home way of doing things. So, if I say, Alexa, turn off the bedroom lights. Et voila, she's turned 2 of them off, but she hasn't turned that one off because we still don't have Wi-Fi, and I'm currently hotspotting everything from my phone. I can't wait for nighttime with these lights and the LED strip behind the bed, because it's just going to add a nice bit of ambiance in the evening. If you don't like green, this bedroom of course isn't for you. And believe it or not, green isn't mine or Evie's favourite colour. We just really like the kind of earthy, natural tones, and this is exactly what this is. These IKEA PAX cupboards are great, again, because we don't have anywhere to store any of our stuff right now. It's full to the brim. We've got 3 drawers each, and then, you know, nice hanging space and a little bit of space up top just for general storage. And then Evie's is exactly the same. So now the bedroom is done and dusted, we've got bigger fish to fry, and that is trying to resolve and sort out this leak. I know a bunch of you guys have put some comments in the recent videos, and thank you so much to everybody for all of your advice. I have been doing a little bit more digging, and you'll find out the exact state of the bathroom in the next video. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give the video a like, make sure to subscribe, and if you want to try and do a bit of a DIY renovation of your own bedroom, absolutely give it a go, because things can look scary, things can look daunting if you don't know how to do it, but the best thing to do is just do it and see what happens.